Hey, peace, y'all. This is Naz. So, I want to try to do a little short video just to demonstrate how to use the sage, how to smudge when you get your sage. For those of you who've been ordering the sage from me, a lot of you have been asking, for it to have instructions when you get it, and there will be written instructions in there when you get the sage, not to worry. But I also wanted to do this video just so you can also just see it, so you can kind of know, be a little bit familiar when you see the instructions, what to do. So once again, sage is, it's just a organic, the sage that I sent get is organic. White sage is very all natural herb. It's been used for, you know, centuries and centuries in multiple cultures throughout Native American culture, African culture, Asian culture. So it's definitely not a new thing. It's just sort of making a resurgence into mainstream, but it's a very old practice, and one that's actually very beneficial. Sage has two benefits, and that is physical and spiritual. On a physical level, is really excellent at ridding bacteria and germs and even certain viruses out of the atmosphere in a space. There's even been scientific research done on it where once sage was burned in an environment, they were able to measure, and there was 94% of the previous germs and bacteria that were in that space were gone and stayed gone for, anywhere from like 2 to 3 days afterwards. So sage is very powerful in that it's extremely antibacterial. Its other usage that makes it amazing is its spiritual properties. The potency of the smoke allows for just negative, stagnant energy that just does not serve you, does not serve your home, your family, whatever your environment is, yourself. It has a really good way of dispelling that energy. So what you're going to do, I'm going to walk you through doing this. And now this sage is at the very, very end of one that I've been using for probably over a week and a half, right? So this is the one I've been using, but I wanted to make this video really quickly tonight because so many people have been asking, and I have like a super busy day tomorrow. I have a big move going on. So I wanted to just take some time tonight to do it and do this for you guys so you can see how to do this when you get yours. So this is the end of one that I've been using. The ones that you've ordered from me are going to be much thicker, much bigger. They're going to be a brand new bundle. Smudge stick, right? So you want to get a non-flammable dish, something like maybe ceramic, or you can even get like a shell, a seashell, if you have a abalone shell, which is kind of traditionally Native American culture what's used when you sage. But whatever dish you use, as long as it's non-flammable and it's something natural, I like to use like ceramic things, it's fine. Anything that's not flammable is most important. And so you can get a small bowl like this or a small saucer, or if it's a bigger smudge stick, you may want to use a bigger plate. But so I have this small bowl right here. And so what you're going to do is, it's even good if you just take, a nice little breath or whatever. It doesn't have to be any like super deep meditation, but just take a second to just kind of know what your prayer is in your heart and in your mind, right before you do it, whatever your intention is, whether it's to, hey, I want to, keep any sicknesses or germs or bacteria out of my home, away from my children, away from my grandchildren, myself, whatever the case may be. If that's your intention, just kind of make that intention, state that prayer, and hold that, at the forefront of your heart and mind. And then as you light it, hopefully we can get it lit pretty good here, because literally, y'all, this is one I've been using for over a week, because sage goes really far. So this is like right at the end of this one. But I don't like being wasteful, so we're going to use this one. So you're going to light it. It'll flame up, blow out the flame. And you can see already it makes a lot of smoke, right? And you'll see the embers. And you can, if it starts to go out, you can simply blow on it or have a light feather. And you can just, use that to make some more smoke. And so what you're going to do is, once you've lit it, have your dish, whatever your dish is that you're using, just kind of keep it nearby. So if any embers fall, any soot or ashes, it'll be there to catch it. So it's just more so for safety, having your dish there. And what you want to do is just go in a clockwise motion around your room, around your doorways, whatever space you're doing. You may be doing your entire house. If it's you just moved into a new space, I recommend doing the entire house. But if it's just, a particular room, maybe you had an argument with somebody or a disagreement, or you had some people over, somebody didn't have to, go to the vibe, then just sage in that area wherever that person was, or wherever that disagreement or argument was had, then sage that space. Or if somebody's been ill, say one of your children, is getting over a cold or the flu, and, you want to, after you've, obviously disinfected the sheets and kind of wiped everything down, then you would want to go in their room and just go around and smudge. And that is what we call the process of saging. It's called smudging, when you actually go in and you're, going through and taking the smoke through to allow it to kill any bacterias and germs and certain viruses out of the air. Or if you're just doing it simply to lift the energy, to dispel any of the negative energy. And it may not be from a person. It could just be even within your own self. Maybe you've just recently gotten over a depressed phase, and just getting rid of that really heavy negative energy out of the air. Or sometimes it's a space that just hasn't been used in a really long time, and so the energy there is kind of stagnant, and you just want to wake that energy up and just kind of get rid of the dead energy. And so you would take your sage through, and again, just in these clockwise motions. And as you go clockwise, as long as you see a big puff of smoke when you're going in these circles, it lets you know to, maybe still keep smudging in that space. But once you do it enough and that it's not really able to make a full circle with the smudge, it lets you know that, okay, the energy is lightening up, and, you're probably complete with that. Well, when you're ready to put it out, all you need to do is, you can see some of the embers still there. You're going to take your dish, whatever you're using, and you're just going to stamp it out. You're just going to stamp it out, stamp it out, stamp it out until you don't see any of the embers lit. Make sure all the redness is gone. Make sure you don't see any fire. No fire. No fire. Usually we're asked to say more fire, but we don't want any more fire. So make sure that's all gone, right? You're going to put that out. And what you can do is you can just leave it in the dish. And even when you get down to the very last of your sage, because it'll come wrapped, once it'll start unraveling when it starts getting down to the very, very last. But you can still even use it at that point. It won't be big enough for you to hold it, and it'll start getting down to the end. So see, the string will start coming apart, and so then it'll start coming apart. Well, what you can do is you just put it in that dish, and if you still want to use the last of it, you simply would just light it. But instead of holding it, you would light it and just let it be in your dish and go around, smudge, smudge, smudge. And oftentimes that's what I do. Sometimes I will light the entire smudge stick, or sometimes I simply will break off pieces of it, put it in a dish, light it, and then just take it around. If it's something that you don't feel like you need a really big smudge and you don't need a whole lot of smoke, simply break off a few leaves, put it in the dish, light it, and take it around, and that will be sufficient. And once you put it out, even if it's in the wintertime after you've smudged, you want to crack a window or open a door, but any sort of opening to make sure that that energy that you have gotten out, and the germs and bacteria, now that the sage has pulled and drawn those energies and germs and bacteria out, let them leave your house, let them leave your space, let them leave your person and go out. Give it to God, let it go. Whatever problem you were concerned about, let it burn out, let the smoke go out and leave. The Most High knows what to do with it. So just leave it, and then allow your home and your space and your person to be left just with love and light, and you should feel a much lighter energy afterwards. And also, even in addition to just saging your home and your space or your office or wherever you're saging in a place, you can also sage yourself and other people. Say, for instance, you were somewhere and you just felt like, I really wasn't feeling the vibe there. You felt like maybe there was a lot of negativity, or someone, said or did something to you that wasn't the kindest, and you just kind of feel that icky feeling like, I just feel a little weird, or just odd energy. Well, what you can do is just take your sage the way we did before, light it, be really careful, especially if you got a lot of hair or something, and you want to just take it around the top of your head, the top of your crown. You can take it around your arms, just around yourself, and just allow that energy to dissipate and go out. once you're done smudging, of course, like if it's in the wintertime, you can close the door, you can close the windows. But even if it's in the wintertime, you really must crack something, crack the door, and just let that energy go out. You don't want that to stay in the house. And if your intentions are to, once you get rid of the negative energy and get rid of a lot of that heavy energy that you don't need, is to bring in blessings and to bring more of a sweetness into the space, then that's when you would light your Palo Santo and burn that, and that really makes a nice sweet smell. Or you could light your blue sage if your intention is focused on, prosperity and abundance and bringing that sort of thing, drawing some sort of wealth into your space. Then you would light your blue sage after you've lit your white sage to get rid of that type of vibe. So I hope this made sense for everybody. I tried to make this short, but I still think it ended up being like, I don't know, however long. But I just wanted to make sure you all got it. So hopefully you got it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to answer your questions. And also, when you get your sage from me, please tag me in your pictures. Show me your first time using it. Let me know how it made you feel. Let me know how the vibe felt in your house or around yourself after you saged yourself, or you saged your room, or whatever you did with it. Let me know, because I want to know how it's working for y'all and how it's feeling for you, because I put a lot of intentions into it, and I really want you all to feel good when you're using these tools, because that is their intention, is for you to feel better, for you to be able to take care of yourself better, to take care of your family better, and enjoy the life that it is that you're supposed to be living. So I love you all. Hope you have a happy holiday. Any questions, just inbox me or put your question in the comments. So I'll talk to y'all later. All right, peace.